In this screencast, I'm going to go over how to edit pages and posts. And I'm going to show you that by just adding a new post, because it's pretty much the same thing for pages, with a couple of differences that I'll point out as we go. So this is the screen to add a new post. I got here by going over to posts in the left-hand side and to add new. So I can enter the title for my post here. And then in this box underneath here is all the content for my post. So I can say, this is my new post. I'm writing it now. Tessa, whatever I want to write there. All of these buttons along the top are all for formatting. You might not see the second row on your WordPress website until you press this button here, which if you hover over it, it will say show hide kitchen sink. So this second row is called the kitchen sink. So it's more advanced formatting tools. So going along from left to right, we have making your text bold and italic, strike through, bullet points and a numbered list, or an unordered list and an ordered list. Those things are all very familiar from word processing software like Microsoft Word. So the way to use them is to first of all highlight the text that you want to change and then hit the button, say for bold, and that will make that text bold. Highlight this word, make it italic, etc. For the bullet points, you can do that after you've written. So first bullet point, second bullet point, and you can highlight them and hit the bullet point button. And now if you add to that, it'll add extra bullet points as you hit return. And the same with the numbered list. So you can change that into a numbered list as well. The next one along is a quotation. So it's called a block quote, and many themes will have block quotes formatted separately, so formatted in a different way so that the quote stands out. So let's say I want to write a quote here. I highlight that and give it the block quote. So in my edit screen here, it's not really showing anything different. It just indented it a little bit, but according to my theme, that will probably show in some kind of marked way. And that's something that you can also change if you know how to go into the code. These next buttons here are all for alignment. So again, similar to word processing, if you want to align left, it already is, centered and right aligned. Again, you highlight it first and then use those buttons to move it. This one here is the link. So if you want to make, say, the word now into a link, you can just click on the link button. And in the link box, I can either paste in a URL here and a title for the URL. Or I can also link to existing content on my site. So I can just click on one of my other pages or posts that I've created, and it will automatically link to that one. And I go add link, and there it is. If I want to remove that link, just highlight it and click on that little button that has like the broken link. That will unlink it. This next one here is the read more or insert more button. So wherever you choose that, so you click your cursor in the post and click on that, and it puts a line through it like that. What that does is that some themes only show an excerpt of the post on the main index page of the blog. And then when you click on the name of the blog or you click on read more, it'll go and show you the full text of the blog post. So this is determining where that separation occurs. So in this case, this text here will be shown on the index page, but when people click through to see the whole blog post, they'll see everything. So that's determining where that point is. This button here is to do a spell check. It's pretty handy. This button here is to go full screen or distraction-free writing mode. So if you are one of those people who gets distracted by emails coming in when you write or other things that are on the screen, when you click that, you can go into this kind of distraction-free mode so you don't see all the other buttons. Exit full screen. As I said before, this is the kitchen sink button, so toggling that on and off drops down that second row of buttons. This formatting drop down is for your styles. So themes will come formatted with various heading styles so that you can make your headings stand out, and also so that they're consistent across all of the posts and pages on your blog. So you're not constantly changing the color of text and making it bold and making it a certain size. You can just use these styles to make it all consistent. So again, you highlight the text that you want to change, and choose a style from here. So say I choose heading 2. A lot of the time you're not going to see anything different in this editing screen. It'll just be shown on the front of your blog, like when you actually go and visit it or preview the post. So here it's just made it bold, but that and bigger, but that might not be what it actually looks like on the front. So you'll need to know what those heading styles are in order to apply them and know what they're going to look like. So you've also got here underline, fairly straightforward. You've got here justify text. So you had these align left, align center, and align right, but here is your option to align full. So it's justified. So it's aligned on the left and the right. This is to select the text color. Normally, I wouldn't recommend this because I'd recommend using the styles. I've seen a lot of people use these text colors and not choose exactly the same color each time, for instance, and then it just looks a little bit disjointed across their blog posts. These 2 buttons, you can paste in content that you've written in another word processor. So if you've used just a plain text editor, you can paste that in here. If you've used Word, you can paste it in here. So when you click this button, it'll allow you to paste your text from Word into here. The reason that you would do it in there as opposed to straight into the screen here is because some of the formatting from Word can be carried across into WordPress and mess up your formatting, so it won't look as you expected it to look. So you would always use that button if you wanted to paste in from Word. The erase button to remove formatting. So if you just wanted to remove all of the formatting in that line, I've just removed the italics. This button here is to insert a custom character or a symbol. So you've got a whole range to choose from here. So if you're not sure of the keystroke to use, then you can use that little pop-up there. And there's a couple of other buttons here that I don't often use. Indent, backwards and forwards. You've got an undo and redo buttons. And just the general help here, which is also always really good to refer to. Okay, so that's all of the formatting buttons up here. Another really important button is the Add Media button. So that's up the top here. And adding media, you'll be able to drag and drop, say, an image from your computer into here, or you can press the Select Files button to choose one. You can also access your media library and insert any of the images from there as well. That will allow you to do that. You also, up here on the right hand side, you have the choice between the visual editor and the text editor. So the visual editor, you can see it's visual. It's showing me this is bold, this is bigger and bold, it's showing me where the read more tag is, etc. If I switch to text, that's showing me the code, the HTML markup for the post. So normally you wouldn't want to use that. You may only want to use it for troubleshooting, but that's for a different lesson. Okay, so underneath the edit box, there are going to be different boxes depending on if you have certain plugins installed, for instance. So there's a SEO settings here, and this is part of my theme, but you might also have SEO settings if you have installed an SEO plugin. Layout settings, again, is part of my theme. You've got options for discussion, so you can turn commenting on and off. There's various sort of settings for this post that you've got as well. Over here you can set the featured image. You can also do that when you upload the media with the Add Media button. You can choose to use that as a featured image, and the featured image is just something that some themes will use to sort of pull an image that represents that post into, say, the blog index page or somewhere else. Categories and tags are the two things that are specific to a post as opposed to a page. And I'll be going over those in another tutorial in more depth, but you can add categories here, and you can also just click these checkboxes to choose a category that this post belongs to. Same with tags. So you can choose from most used tags here, or you can also just type in tags and separate them with commas. So you could say beginner new post, etc. And then click add. And then in the top here, you have the publish options. So you can save this as a draft if you're not ready to publish it yet. You can preview it as well on the front of your blog. You can change its status, so you can choose between draft or pending review. So if you've got a blog that has multiple authors, you might want to have it reviewed by an editor. You can change its visibility from public, password protected, or private. So if you don't want for people to be able to see it on the front end, then you can do that. You can also publish it immediately, or you can schedule it, and then it will automatically be published at another time. So that's really handy as well. Clicking on the publish button, that will obviously make it published. One more thing I wanted to show you in this editing posts and pages screen is here the screen options button up the top. If you click on that, you'll actually see all of the options that you have for what's displayed on the screen. So for instance, if you want to handcraft an excerpt, like a summary of the post that might be displayed somewhere on the site, you can click this excerpt button and then the checkbox, and then if you scroll down, we should see, here we go, the excerpt has arrived here, so you can actually type in an excerpt. If you want to hide anything that you don't use, for instance, so if you never use tags, you can always just uncheck that, and then the tags box has disappeared from down here. So that's the screen options. So I can close that up and then hit publish, and that's your post or page published.